very intensive, a very processor intensive background program right now, which probably is not the best idea. How much time is left on this thing? 18 minutes. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do a pause on that right now so that it doesn't destroy the CPU, which it could. All right, that's on pause because it's not anything urgent, but I should have done that before I hit the go button. So sorry if the beginning of this is pretty rocky. Was not the intent, but it does happen sometimes. All right, everything else I think we're in good shape. So let's hit the buttons here. And all I have to wait for, unless by some miracle, it picks it up right away. Wow, look at that. That is amazing. Wow. I'm actually sort of disturbed by how quickly everything seems to have worked. Oh, I do have to figure that out at some point, but that's okay. That's a secondary issue. Yeah, everything. I'm just waiting for this to finish. And, geez, we might actually get in under the 2-minute mark. You know what? We are going to get under the 2-minute mark because I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say, let's go ahead and do our opening. Whoa. Oh, I didn't mean to double click that. Let's do that. Oh, I have to move my keyboard. But this should still work. Just moving my keyboard shouldn't interrupt anything. We should go right to my iPad. If I did this right, wow, look at that. Wow, yeah, I'm kind of, boy, that's sort of spooky. I feel like that's a bad omen. Everything worked so quickly. All right, let's do, oh, you know what? I forgot the social stream thing. Hold on. I have to select this every time. Sorry. This should be pretty quick, though. Social stream. Oh, I have to uncheck. There's a weird thing with Streamlabs that I just don't understand, is why I have to uncheck this box every time. Where's the dashboard on this thing? I don't think it's item 0, is it? No, it's not item 0. There's supposed to be a dashboard. Where did the dashboard go? This has been here every time, but now it's not gonna, oh, I didn't hit the button. See? I should have known there was something. Okay, I just heard a beep. So let's check this now. I'll bet you it's here now. That's my fault. I didn't check the box. I didn't hit the button to activate. There it is. Got it. Okay. Oh yeah, 2 minutes. So yeah, we're good here. I can now close this window, right? I certainly can. Goodbye, window. I don't need you anymore. All right, let's get going here. So, oh, let me do my tests just to ensure that the box is working. Test 1. Okay, perfect. And let's go to test 2. All right, good. Everything's working. Amazingly, it's all working at the moment. So we're just gonna go on ahead here. Okay. So you can see we're looking. Sorry, I forgot to get a drink of water really quick. Let me do that. Okay. So yeah, we've got our cyber head or whatever I'm calling this going here. I will warn you, this is probably going to be a shorter stream because, for whatever reason, in Northern California, on March 24th, which is what it is on the time of the stream, it is 82 degrees. I have the air conditioning on. It's warm. I don't know why. It's going to be in the low 80s today and tomorrow. Then it's going to drop back to what would be normal temperature for March, which in Northern California is low 70s and high 60s. So, I mean, it's just, yep, the climate, it's doing fine. Yeah, it sure is. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to go for too long because it is actually pretty warm. I try to avoid turning the AC on because it's March. But, you know, the necessity is what the necessity is. I don't like a lot of warmth, so, you know, just had to go with it. All right, so let's keep going with our detail lines here. So we're going to stick with what I've been doing. So let's see where these lines are. Not that one. Not that one. Nope. There we go. All right, so let's grab this one. Don't I have a... No, it's a secondary. Let's add a new layer. Let's go to black. Let's go to the pen, which I'm sure is this pen. I don't know the size exactly. Oh, that looks right. Hold on, that looks good. Or no, this might be the one size up. Let me check. Hold on, let's find out, shall we? That's hard to say. What are we at? 3. Yeah, 3 is where I think it's supposed to be. All right, let's go ahead and do a drawing assist. which does appear to be our symmetrical assist. That's what we want. And I don't know if it's very obvious, but this color and this color are the same. I mean, I think you can tell that, but I know because when it's close up, it can be tougher to tell. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to keep following on that. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see. How do I want these lines? I want these lines to be a little bit... No, actually, no. They should be kind of curved. So let's go ahead and let's do something like this. Actually, let me look at a quick... you won't be able to see this, but on my screen, I just want to take a look at neck muscles. I just want to see... Well, I mean, technically, these would be chin, I guess. But when they... Oh, here. This shows the bottom of the face. I'm just... Oh, perfect. There's one with it facing... I mean, this is a lot higher up than what I'm looking at, but still, let me just take a quick look. So, okay, that wraps down like that. Okay, and those muscles come in. Those would be going up. So these would be kind of radiating out. All right. So based on actual musculature, they would be kind of going like this. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow this example, and we're going to kind of just go like this. Now, I'm not worried about the lines intersecting over there because this is its own layer. So those will be easy to fix. But, yeah, let's just go ahead and we're going to follow the general curve. Wow, that's a really wild anatomy photo. Huh. I'm actually going to keep that up in the background in case I need it. But yeah, muscles, tendons, the way the whole body's laid out is such an interesting thing when you see a good anatomy illustration. And that looks like probably a hand-drawn one from, just based on the way it looks, probably the 70s or 80s. I mean, that's the thing about anatomical drawings. You really don't have to update them. I mean, the basic muscle structure of the human body has not varied tremendously in the last, okay, well, I'm not a scientist, but I would say a couple hundred years probably before, since there's been any major changes, if even in that time. I mean, the human body is pretty much the same as it's been for a while, outside of small variations and little changes, but the basic muscle layouts, they don't fundamentally change. I mean, what you have now is, you know what, I want more kind of curvature to that. Let's redo this. Let's get a little bit more curve coming in here, like something like that. Yeah, I want there to be some dynamism. Dynamism is a word, right? Yeah. I want there to be some kinetic feeling to these lines. I want them to really feel like they're moving. That they're connectors. That they're meant to flex and kind of wax and wane along with the movement of the face. Not just be static. Static lines are good. I like static lines. But, you have to occasionally put them next to lines that aren't so static. That's how it works. That's the beauty of it. So, yeah, I want these to have a bit of a flow to them, a little bit of a curve. Yeah, see? That's better. Yeah. I like how that looks. And it is mirrored, correct? Okay, don't want to get all the way to the end of this thing, doing all these lines, and then find out that somehow I bumped off the symmetrical mirroring. So far, so good. So we'll keep going. We'll just keep going. Did some oil painting over the weekend. Image called Vibrant Sunset. Came out pretty nice. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Simple. Very simple painting in many ways. But I did two things. There's a thing there. Let me fix that. Two things that I don't typically do. Where is that color? Here it is. Is that? Yes. Let's get that color. Is that on symmetry? It is. I'm on the wrong layer. There we are. Let's get that filled in. Beautiful. So yeah, two things I don't typically do. I actually did like trees with a liner brush. And I normally have a lot of problems with that. It's not something I'm very used to. Not used to. It's not something I'm very good at. For whatever reason, whenever I try it, I always seem to run out of paint really quickly. But I did something a little different with it this time. I put a little bit of paint thinner on it. And I really kind of, unusually for what I don't like that line at all. Normally in oil painting, I don't go over the same part of the painting very often. But in this case, I did. I went over it because I really wanted the tree to have a nice silhouette to it. So I was okay with going over it a couple of times. And also because the trees were all done in midnight black. So it's basically straight black. Thing is, in oil painting, if you've never done it, one of the problems you can run into is, particularly with colors, if you keep going over and over and over with them, there's two problems that you can have. One is that they'll start blending into the background colors or with each other, or that they just kind of start gooping and you can see it. It just doesn't look very good. But since all these trees were black, it was a lot easier to just keep going because it was supposed to be a harsh silhouette. So it was okay to just keep building up on it. And they came out all right. I also have been really happy with the kind of scraping technique that this isn't the painting I did the last 2 weekends were not Bob Ross himself, but instead a Bob Ross certified trainer named Bram. I actually don't know what the last name of Bram is, but somebody who obviously learned and knew Bob Ross and does things in a similar style. Not the same, which I think is good. It's good to not always use the same exact method to things. But he did this thing where he would scrape the paint to create branches. And branches are tricky for me. I've done them and they've worked sometimes. And then other times I've done them and they've looked terrible. So I really just started avoiding doing them altogether. But I saw he was doing this scratching technique and I thought, that's interesting. And I tried it and it works really well. Now you can't use it for everything, because by scratching the paint, you're revealing the canvas, so it's white. Now probably if I laid down color, there's probably a way to have that where it's actually showing color, but then you'd have to be really careful that you're not scraping the color off, which I'm sure somebody with real skill, a really good painter, somebody who's really good with a palette knife, can probably do that. They can sense that pressure correctly to be able to only scrape off the, let's say, like the second layer of paint. I don't believe I'm anywhere near that level, and probably never will be. So I just stick with using it where I'm fine with it being white branches, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And the painting came out really, really, for a simple painting, I felt like it came out really well. Only thing I would have changed if I was going to do it again is in the example, the sky at the top is very dark, which I basically mirrored that. I followed that example, but honestly, I wish I'd done a more colorful sky. I wish there'd been a little more color, because it just kind of reads very dark and it kind of all blends into itself. It's not bad. I don't think it's ugly or anything like that. I still like how it came out. But were I to do it again, I would make the sky a little bit more color punching out of the sky. And I probably would not have done black clouds. He did black clouds. And on top of the fact that the sky was dark at the top half anyway, you sort of lose some of the clouds. So that's what I mean, is I probably would do things slightly differently were I to do it again. And I might do the same painting, but vary up the colors a little bit and see what the results are. Because I like doing the painting. And it was simple. You know, probably took maybe 40 minutes, because I stopped a couple times just to make sure I was doing things the way that they were being shown. But did not take long. It wasn't a very high effort painting. And very colorful. Really, really was happy with the colors on it. So I probably wouldn't mind doing that again. Because like I said, the colors were really nice on it. And color is not something I feel like I'm particularly strong with, but this was such an easy painting to do. I mean, it would probably be considered a beginner's oil painting, honestly. Which is fine. I really have no problem with doing a beginner painting, because I don't consider myself that great of a painter. So, I mean, I just don't. So I wouldn't have any problem doing that one again. There we go. Let's add another layer. Let's turn on that assist. Let's do these purple areas. Now the purple areas, I think, are thicker. Yes, they are. They are a thicker brush. Oh, you know, I never got rid of those other ones. Holy, whoa. Where are those? I gotta get rid of that layer. That layer is not functional anymore. It's this one. Is there anything else on there, or is it just that? It is just that. So we can go ahead and duke that right out. And then I think 48 is the new layer, and I do need to make a bigger pen. So let's see. Oh, that might be right. Hold on. Let's see. That's it. It's a 4. Okay. So we're on 48. Yes, we are. Verify that 48 is empty. And let's jump back into it. Let's see. Chameleon. Hello. I can't stay long, but I thought I'd check out the stream. Well, welcome. Thank you for stopping by at all. I appreciate it. Hey, you can't stay long. That's okay. I tell everybody that. If you can't hang around, that's okay. I understand that not everybody... I know time zones are all over the place. I know people have things going on. But I appreciate you just coming in and saying hello. I hope everything's going well for you. And that you're having a very nice Monday morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. So thank you for saying hello. And no problem. If you got to run, feel free. Yeah, there's a couple people who do that. They typically come in, say hello, and can't stay long. And I'm always appreciative of that. That's fine. Like I said, the reason I post these all on YouTube after the fact, the finished ones, is because I know everybody can't do the live streams. That's okay. That is all right. My live streams, I think the most... Hold on, I got to get that curve right or it's going to bug me. I think the most that my live streams have ever actually done, and of course now I've cut off the top, so even if I get this right, I don't know if I'm going to go up far enough. See? I knew I was going to do that. Yes! Oh no, I remember. Yeah. I saw, and I'm glad you got the new username. Because I remember, I think the last time we talked, I don't think you'd gotten the username yet, but I think you found that it was available. Because I remember you said you had to change it. So that's great. I'm glad you got it. It's a great, I think it's a good username. I think it accomplishes what you wanted. Because I remember we were kind of talking about it and trying to come up with a name. So, oh yeah, no, I remember. But yeah, I put all these on YouTube. You can watch them after the fact. Because I know not everybody can hang out for live streams. So, yeah, not a problem at all. Yeah, I was starting to say, I think none of my live streams have ever... I may have had one where there were 8 people that came to it. That's fine. I'm not chasing numbers. I know that's just not going to ever be something. I don't have the... Well, honestly, I don't even have the... I don't know, the numbers don't really mean anything to me. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, you know, I don't appreciate people stopping in. I do. But I think some people there, it's really, they try all this stuff to drive numbers up, and I just don't. It's not for me. I'm just happy people find this thing at all, whenever, however. And it doesn't have to be live or not. That's why I put them all up there, and I don't think there's ever going to be a day where, you know, I'm going to be selling VPN subscriptions or anything. Thank you so much. Yeah, I gained a few subscribers since then. I blame you. Well, I will take the blame. I will take that blame. But yeah, like I said, I'm just glad that it was a name. Look, I understand that it's not easy to find a name that you really like. It can, and especially because now so many people make so many different channels and all this different stuff. It's even harder because, you know, you come up and you think, oh, this is a great name. Nobody's going to have this one. And, you know, a decent chance somebody does because, you know, there's just so many channels out there. So I'm glad you found a name that, number one, you like, because that's really the important part is you got to like it because you're going to have to live with it. And the fact that you were able to get it. So that's great. Yeah, not a problem at all. I was happy to do it. You know? I've gotten lucky with a couple of naming things myself. And it's great. It's great when you can find a name you like and that's actually available. I really didn't know if Ozone Art Foundry was even going to be available. When I thought of it, I was like, I'll bet you somebody's got that. And I got lucky. Nobody's got it. I've told on my podcast, I've said many times that I got really lucky when I got a URL that's cyberpunkradio.com. I just love that URL. And I couldn't believe nobody had it. I still can't believe nobody had that. Because that just seems like such a dynamite URL to me. That the fact that nobody had it was, really? Nobody's got that one? Okay. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to grab it. And I did. So I'm thrilled. Those colors are the same. Yes, let me look at that. They must be. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Oh, definitely not that one. Wait. Is that it? Nope. That's it. Are those the same color? Hold on. I'm calling this a cyberhead. It's just a cybernetic being of some kind. I don't really know. I just basically, this started off, I basically took the forms of a human head, neck, and a little bit of the kind of shoulder muscles. And I sketched out the actual muscles. And then I've kind of tried to form these parts where the muscles go. So generally, these lines, more or less, follow the muscles in the head and neck. Sorry, I'm yawning. Let me get a drink. There we go. So that's the idea of it. Outside of that, I couldn't tell you where this came from. I just had this idea of a head kind of looking slightly up with the visor and making it cybernetic. And then I thought, oh yeah, I'll follow the muscles. I'll do something because it's easy to kind of. I've done other ones where the other stuff is more simple. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like a Ghost in the Shell type of character. Yeah, again, I'm not breaking any really new ground here. This is sort of a standard cyberpunk mechanized person idea. So I'm not going to pretend that, oh, nobody's made anything like that ever look like this before, but that's okay. You don't have to, not everything has to be a sole creation that nobody else has. It can be in the vein of other things. And I've seen a lot of other images like this, and I kind of was interested in what my interpretation of it would be, and that's what I'm doing. Now, let's see. Is this color the same as this color? Yes, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. So this line weight is what we're going to go with on those other plates. So that's probably 1 weight down. I would guess that's a 3. Here we are. Let's verify. No, maybe not. Maybe it's a 4. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know. Let me try. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's a 4. Okay. Got it. So we're on the right layer for that, are we? No. Now we are. This one. So let's see. Well, thank you, Chameleon. I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I'm glad it doesn't look like crap. That's the goal. The goal is to have it not look terrible. That's goal number 1. You get that, everything else is good. So yeah, I like I said, it's just this. I've kind of pictured it. At least you came up with that particular one yourself. It's better than directly copying and claiming it's yours. I had a friend who did that once. Yeah, and the thing is, there is a difference. This is something I think a lot of people don't really understand. There's a saying that a lot of people have probably heard that great artists steal from each other. I've never liked that saying because I think it's not true, and I think it confuses the idea of inspiration with duplication. Duplication is you ripping somebody else's stuff off and adding next to nothing of yourself to it. And I think that doesn't make you an artist. That makes you a copycat. Whereas if you see something and you think it's neat and you want to do your variation of it, that doesn't mean that you don't incorporate parts of those other artists in. You can. If somebody, I'll give you a perfect example, right? There's a comic book artist. Now, I can't draw nearly as well as this person, but they typically, when they draw hands, they almost always have 2 fingers that are together. And what I mean by that is, here's an example. So if they're drawing a hand, right, and the hand is pointing, and you get middle finger, and then this is very quick, of course, and the 2 fingers will always be together, like that. Or it'll be, the thumb. Again, I'm drawing this so badly. And then like that and like that with the 2 middle fingers together. So they kind of always, that's a style of theirs. There's another artist who, again, I can't draw hands well enough to really show you but they always kind of do this thing where if somebody's casting a spell, let's say it's a wizard, right? And the hand is kind of casting the spell. The fingers are kind of like this. They always have the hand angled this way. Okay, that's a terrible thumb. Hold on. Sorry. They always have the hand kind of angled. Jeez, that's even worse. How is it I'm looking right at my hand and I can't... Okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to do this forever. But this is always the position of the hand, and then the arm. It's always like that. They always have the hand kind of angled that way. And so if another artist wants to do something where the hand is similar, but in their style, that to me isn't ripping them off. If they literally do the same exact pose, and the fingers are where you could trace, you could put one over the other and you couldn't really tell the difference, that's a different thing. You know, and it's a tough difference because, you know, sometimes it can kind of get closer than other times, and there's, you know, some debate on that. But I think that generally people can pick up the difference. People can tell when somebody is doing like an homage or is inspired by something, and when they're just blatantly ripping another person off. And, you know, it's not the same thing. That's why I don't like that saying about artists stealing. I think it really insults what artists do, and it confuses, like I said, inspiration and duplication, which are or replication, I guess would be probably the more technical way to say it. They're just two different things, I think. So I've never really liked that saying. I don't know actually where it originated. It's probably one of those old sayings that's been around forever, you know. Because I remember I was reading about I don't remember who the band was, but there was a band. I think a lot of people have a signature way they draw certain parts. I have a way I tend to lean towards when I draw noses and mouths, eyes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying is, like, I actually sometimes am really terrible with eyes. Sometimes I'm good at it, and sometimes I'm bad. Now, could I go and find a drawing that somebody did with eyes that I think are better, and could I trace over? Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to. Instead, what I'll do is I'll just find a different angle to draw the eyes from. You know, and so I've done some things where I've done like eye studies and that type of thing. And again, sometimes it comes out well and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm not just going to go trace over somebody who does better eyes than me. That doesn't give me anything. You know, it doesn't make me any better at what I'm doing. And I just don't think there's no value in that for me. You know, some people will. Some people will just go copy it. And like I said, I think those people can't really look in the mirror, or shouldn't look in the mirror, and consider themselves artists. Not if you're just lifting somebody else's stuff whole cloth. I just don't think you can really... do that. Now, there is a difference, though, and I will say this. Let's see. It's just the way that I taught myself. I didn't have anyone to teach me, so I kind of picked it up from scratch. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's self-taught. Absolutely. No, I'm with you. Now, there is a difference, though. There is something else. So let's say, again, just to give an example, let's say you see, this is the artist, not you. This is somebody else. And they draw an eye that kind of looks like this, right? And this is just how they draw an eye. You know? And then there's, you know, a little bit of here, and eyebrow there, and maybe a line there, and right? And you see this, and you think, oh, okay, that's kind of how I'd like my eyes to look. Now, not tracing, but if you start to kind of practice, and you basically do the same general forms, you go, okay, I like kind of the basic way this person draws this, and I'll do some lines like this, and just come off like here, and, you know, something like that. Now, these two eyes are very similar, right? But there are little differences, and the more you do it, then there's a good chance that you'll start to do different things, that you'll start to have like different accent points, or maybe you don't like this line here that this person has, or maybe for you want like more lines coming off, and you always want to have a shadow here, whereas this other artist doesn't. You always want to have like a dark part here, or even that you do like a liner underneath, so there's always kind of a, you know, an underlining to it. You'll start to kind of evolve past it. And then eventually, these two eyes won't look at all the same, right? And even if they just look similar, but that's different than just coming to getting somebody else's art and literally just doing a line over it. There's nothing to that. You're not going to get anything out of that. So that's what I mean about there's a difference between seeing somebody's style who you like and you'd like to incorporate parts of, and just copying. Those are two different things. And maybe that doesn't look all that different, but I'm telling you, it's different. It is a different thing to do a trace over or to come up with your own eye based on something that you happen to like. You can do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you can start off. I don't think you should ever want to be exactly the same as another artist, but I think that it's fine to find artists whose style you like and want to see how you can do it. I like doing long, thick eyelashes or dark circles around my eyes. Yeah, okay, here's a funny example. I almost never do eyelashes. I never think about them. Never even think about them. Except, for men. I don't do eyelashes on male characters. I do them on female characters, but I do them on male characters. But yeah, that's what I mean. Those are the little variations that you pick up on. It's kind of like how some artists became... I mean, when I was younger, there were comic book artists who were famously really bad at drawing like feet. And their feet were always awful. Now, I'm not particularly good at feet either. But what I do is I basically just either try to avoid it or I, pull up a reference image, usually like like a fashion magazine, and I look for people who are standing or, standing in a very specific way, and then you just kind of, reference that as opposed to just not drawing feet at all. But that's the thing is there's different types of things that people do. I leave eyelashes off on male characters, not really on purpose. I just never think about them. But if you like doing those, then that's great. That's the point where you said, because it's fun to draw. That's what it should be about. It should be you doing and illustrating things that you enjoy doing. Artwork should be something you enjoy. It shouldn't be something that is, there is work to it. You want to practice. You want to get better. Obviously, that's you want to improve what you're doing, but it should never not be fun. Let's see, I can't draw feet unless they're in shoes. Makes it weird. Well, you know what? Yeah, and see, the funny part is, I'll tell you, here, this is kind of humor. So here, I'm going to draw, right? So here's a foot, and a toe, and a toe, and a toe, and a little tiny toe, right? Now, foot comes back, all right. So there's your foot, toe, toenail, 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 right? So just there, right? Now, that's not, for a quick drawing, that's not a terrible foot. I'm not saying it's a great foot, but it's not a terrible foot. But I'll tell you right now, I almost never, in anything I ever draw in my life, draw a bare foot. So I can do a bare foot. Hey, Timber Dragon. I can do a bare foot that you understand is a foot. Now, this isn't the best because I did it in 2 seconds. But in other words, that's a foot. You could tell that's a foot. But I never draw bare feet. I tend to draw feet in shoes. And with feet in shoes, I'm not as good. It's just a funny thing. It's just how it works. Can't tell you why. But that's just how it works. But yeah, like I said, drawing should be fun. It should always be something that you get enjoyment out of. I don't think, because there's this other kind of idea that, great art is the result of suffering. And you know what? I don't think so. There is great art that comes out of painful times in people's lives. That's unquestionably true. But that's more, let's see, I mainly draw faces because there's so much custom. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely parts of the body that you can do more with. And the face is probably one of the best because it's the most expressive part of the human body, really, in terms of the amount of information that the face communicates. Now, you can do a lot with body kind of pose and how somebody looks and moves. There's a lot of interesting things that some people can do with just body positioning. But the face is probably the one that's... it's the... I don't know if you've been in any of the streams where I've been drawing. This is a cybernetic head. I'm just doing some of the close-up detail work on it, but this is the cyberhead or whatever this will end up being called. So I'm just doing some of these kind of small lines, these detail lines, like, I don't know, engraving or whatever you want to call it on the actual different parts of the body. But yeah, this concept of art being best when it comes from suffering, I think what that confuses is that there are people who are having a tough time, that are going through something, and art is their way to deal with it. And that's great. Art therapy is a very real thing that can help somebody get through something, but I don't think it has to be suffering. There is that idea too that I've heard some people, if great artists all have to suffer. No, they don't. No, they don't. You can have a fun time drawing. I know lots of artists who love doing artwork. It's not to say there aren't moments where they aren't frustrated because, they're not able to do exactly what's in their head. I've certainly had that. But, this is fun. This isn't misery. It shouldn't be. No act of artistic creation, no act of creativity should require suffering. Shouldn't require it. Doesn't mean that some suffering and some pain doesn't lead to great art. but it shouldn't be a prerequisite. I just don't agree with that. I don't know that that's great. I like adding piercings, tattoos, scary stuff like that. Oh, sure. Listen, I've drawn some, I mean, the Magic cards that I'm known for are not fun images. I like that stuff too. I really do. Like the idea of tattoos and that type of thing. The only problem with tattoos for me is I don't think I'm particularly good at them. I would love to tell you I was really good at doing them, but I don't feel like I draw really good tattoos. I actually thought about having this head have some kind of tattoos, but I couldn't really come up with a design that made sense to me. Now, it doesn't mean I won't eventually come up with one, but I'm not really good at inventing those things. Just not my skill set. You know, it's just not. That's okay. But if you like drawing that stuff, that's great. I know lots of people who like to draw a lot of heavily tattooed characters. And if you can do it, and it's fun to do it, then you should do it. Let's see. I feel like art is more of an effort thing than suffering. Yes, yes. Effort is a completely different thing. That's practice and work and putting the hours in and kind of learning techniques. That's effort. You're right. Effort versus suffering. That's actually a better way to put it. That is a much better way to put it. Effort versus suffering. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Did I not? Why did this not erase? Did I just miss something over here? Oh, I see why. Got it. Yeah. Because these are not actually truly symmetrical. But yes, I think that's a lot better. I like that idea that it's effort versus suffering. Yeah, I think that's a much better way to put it. I would agree with that. That's how it should be. It should be the result of effort. And effort's okay. As long as it's not effort that's making you feel bad, which it shouldn't be, that's great. You know, and that effort is that's not a problem. Like I said, that's a much better way to put it. Okay, let's see. I cannot believe the air conditioner is still running. That's how warm it is. This is just crazy to me. In March. Lunacy. Let's go on this side. And let's do these lines going this way now. We'll curve along this. There we are. Ooh, no. I went too narrow on that. Well, I made up a fictional civilization where tattoos are a symbol of accomplishment or power. I'm always drawing characters for it. I got hooked. You know what? That's fantastic. That's what it should be. You were doing something specific and you found that you liked doing those types of characters. That is the best possible outcome you could hope for, is to do something and find that you really like doing it. This is another thing. I'll tell you this, because I, for a long time, got hung up on this. I had this idea that for me to be a really successful artist, let me zoom out just so you can look at this while I'm talking. I had this concept in my head, which was stupid, and I don't know where it came from. I really don't. But this idea that if I was going to be a real artist, with quotes around the word real, whatever that even means, that I had to always draw different things. I couldn't draw the same types of things all the time because that meant I wasn't that good. And then I looked around after a while and saw all these really great artists who often did the same types of things because it's what they're good at and it's what they're interested in. And there's nothing, I don't know where this idea came into my head that, oh no, if I draw, like for example, when I was younger, I would draw this and be like, okay, I can't draw another cyberhead for a while because I don't want people to think I'm just drawing the same things. Why not? I mean, not the exact literal same one, but if I like drawing cybernetic people, why not draw robots or whatever? Draw whatever it is that appeals to you. I don't know where that came from, but like I said, all I had to do was just take a very simple look around at really excellent artists doing great work who did a lot of things that were the same because they like doing them. Well, why wouldn't you do that? If you're good at drawing something and you like drawing it, then keep drawing it. Who cares if it's all similar? I just don't know where. I can't tell you where that idea came from. I really don't, because I don't remember anybody ever saying anything like that to me. I don't remember where it came from, but it was really stupid, and I don't know why for so long I held on to it. But I'm gone with all that now. You draw what you enjoy drawing. That's it. That's why I do a lot of these little lines in my drawings now, because I just like doing them. Even though they're largely repetitive, I kind of just like the repetition of doing these types of lines. So, yeah, if you like a character type or you like doing tattoos or whatever it is, keep doing it. Keep doing it. No reason not to. Art is what makes you happy. That's what it should be. So if that makes you happy, then keep doing it. Just keep doing it. You know what? No, that's good. That'll be too... yeah, I like these lines going this way. I think it's going to be a nice contrast. Okay. Just had to look at it from the phone. This is really fun. I got to hop out, though. I have work. All right, Chameleon, take care. Hey, thanks for coming by and hanging out for a while. Thank you very much. And keep drawing the stuff you like drawing. Keep at it. It'll make you happy, and it'll be good for you in the long run. Why not? Why not? Create the stuff that makes you happy. I think if more people created stuff that made them happy, the world would be a better place. I know that sounds really hippy-dippy, and I guess it is. But at the same time, I think there's something to it. I manage your quadruped. Hey, that's okay. Like I said, you draw whatever you like drawing. Whatever it is that you enjoy, enjoy it. That's the best part of... I think I've said something along these lines before, but I think about... Because I know a lot of people get hung up on all the bad things about the internet and the computers and what people say to each other. And there's all that stuff. It absolutely is there. But the other side of that is now there's so much stuff where you can find communities of people who like the stuff that you like. And you can just, you know, kind of find things you never heard of. there's a couple of YouTubers who talk about old video games that I'd never heard of when I was younger. And they're kind of like obscure games, stuff that, you know, kind of came and went. Nobody really paid attention to it because either there were bigger games around or because the subject matter was a little too weird for the time. And now these people are kind of discovering these things. And, you know, these are games from when I was younger and playing a lot more video games. And a lot of these things I've never even heard of. And it's really interesting because pre-YouTube, maybe I might have accidentally run into somebody or seen a box art for one of these things and been like, oh, what is that? Maybe. But the chances probably would have been very slim. Now, you have all these people who cover so many different little niche things and Discord communities and people that you find online in different places who have these interesting things that they're into that otherwise you might never have heard of. I think that's great. Wait, why is chatbot.net? Oh yeah, why is the chatbot.net there? It was working earlier. That's weird. Hold on. I tested it earlier. It was working. Test 2. Oh, that's strange. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, that's all working. Oh, it's got to be... Yeah, there's some problem with one of the YouTube channels I know isn't working. Hold on a minute. Let me try something here. Or actually, the thing is doing something weird. I noticed it the other day. Oh, the air conditioning just went off. Let me set all of these to live chat. Yeah, the problems with the chat thing just don't ever end. They just don't ever end. Yeah, because that one showed up. Okay, type something now, Timber Dragon. See if something pops up. Just curious. Yeah, there's something weird with the YouTube discovery algorithm on this thing where it both displays too many boxes, yet it doesn't show everything, and I don't really know why. There was some update done, and I think it broke something, and I haven't seen a fix for it yet. Because I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 YouTube chat boxes for some reason, even though they're all for the same thing. And I really don't know why that's happening, but it is odd. Because, yeah, that's production. Yep. No, it's definitely there. The stuff that's enabled is enabled there. But, yeah, you're right, because I'm only seeing mine right now. It's really strange. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, it's not showing up. I don't know what's going on with it tonight. I thought it was working. It's only showing mine, which I don't get. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta look around and see if there's a better thing than this, because this thing keeps having weirder and weirder problems. So I'm not really sure what's going on with it, to be honest. Because it worked the last time I did the stream, everything showed up, and now it's not working again. Let me just do this really quick. I don't have to do all these lines. I just have to kind of keep a nice even spacing on it, just so I have a guide. So that will probably be like this. Fall around there. Yeah, I don't know. Oop. I think I spent something like 20 or 30 minutes just trying to get whatever was broken the last time fixed, and I finally thought, you know what, I'm wasting a bunch of time on this when I probably just need to find something else that can do it. Some of it initially I know came from the fact that I'm streaming to 3 different YouTube channels, so I basically just gave up on having all 3 show up. So the only thing I can wonder, yeah, that's what I'm saying, it is always not working. That's why I'm reading them. So I agree, the chat box is always not working. Couldn't tell you why. But I do need to look around and see if somebody's made. I just wish there was kind of a middle ground where so many of these solutions, they're either like Social Stream is, where they're free and there's no real guaranteed support, which is fine, except if you're having a problem. Or I have looked on the Discord for the product, and there are a lot of people who are saying, okay, yeah, this problem is popping up again. Or I don't have a problem necessarily paying for one, but they're all really expensive because they're all trying to let you do like 30 things at once. I don't need 30 chat boxes. I just need 3. Really. And that would be fine. But like I said, anything that is a paid solution is really expensive because they're giving you all these things that you don't necessarily need. And I would prefer to just... I'd almost like one where you paid a certain amount per the number of chatbots you needed, or chat boxes that you needed. So if it was like $5 a box, that's $50. Okay, that seems reasonable. Actually, that probably would be a little bit much. But yeah, they're all like, oh, $20, $30, $40 for 10 different chat boxes. I don't need 10. I really do not. So, but yeah, it is annoying. I do have to figure out what's going on with that, because at one point it worked, and it does work sometimes. So I don't even know why it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But it definitely kind of has a mind of its own, it seems like. I could try installing that new version and see if it fixes anything. It might. You know what? Let's give it a shot, huh? Why not? If it's not really working anyway, let's do this real quick in the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see. What version is this? Why not? Here it is. This is... Why are there 2 of these? Oh, that's a good sign. Why are there 2? Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay, I was going to say, why are there 2 of these things? I figured it out. All right, so let's put this here. All right. And now this is either going to fix everything or it's going to destroy everything. I'm going to go ahead and close the Social Stream app out real quick, since you can't see it anyway. And let's... Hey, where'd it go? It was just there. Didn't I just download this to the desktop? Whoa, that's interesting. Why did it vanish like that? Yeah, see, this program does some weird stuff. Weird stuff. Where? Here it is. That's weird. It downloaded it, but then it vanished because I closed the program? Really? Okay, it shows it's done. That's really strange. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Replace. Okay, can't be completed because it's open. Okay, let's try it again. All right, Timber Dragon, you too have a great week. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, this will be working next time you're here. Because I'd love it to actually work. It would be nice if it worked. Select live sources. Okay. Shorts. Oh, you know what? I just figured something out, though. All right, hold on. So uncheck that, uncheck that. So I'm going to uncheck all the ones that aren't current. That's really strange that it considers this a short. Oh, your stuff showed up. Look, it showed up. Hold on. I mean, I know you have to go. That's okay. But your messages are there. They weren't there a second ago. So I think maybe this new version fixed it. Hold on. I got to go to, not Streamlabs, Social Stream. Where's Social? Oh, there it is. Social Stream. Is it this one? Hold on. No, it's not that one. Of course, it created multiple dashboards again, but that's okay. Try one thing at a time. Actually, hold on. Let's see. Test 2. Okay, that's there. Oh, and now it's in the multi-stream too. I'll bet you that fixed it. And I heard the sound. All right, so maybe that was all it was. Maybe the new version actually fixed it, because both of those were there and I heard the noise. Well, the irony that you left, sorry. Maybe next time. I can hope it works. Which is not a big deal, because I'm actually about to bring the stream to a close anyway, so you really didn't miss anything, because I had said this is going to be a shorter stream. And I got all the little lines done, at least in those parts. I still have some more to do, but this is shaping up. So yeah, maybe I will do some kind of thing where I'll do like some kind of engraving or something on the other parts. But for now, irony, I got the chat box working, I think. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to here. And I think we'll bring the stream to a close for this evening. So, yeah, besides the chat issues, which I don't really understand, I'll be honest. But maybe they've been fixed now, we'll see. Other than that, I think it went well. And I'm always happy that people stop by and say hi. Even if they can't stay for a while, that's okay. I'm just appreciative that people come at all. I really am. So the fact that people, even if they just stop in and say, hello, I gotta go, that's fine. And as I said during the stream, these videos all go up on YouTube. So if you can only watch them later, and I know some people do, because I've seen some of the numbers and I've gotten some comments from people who watch them only after the fact. That's fine. Because I know, for example, right now on the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock. Well, not everybody is going to necessarily stay up to watch something. So, you know, I appreciate anybody who watches this anytime, anywhere. So, thank you very much for hanging around and saying hello. And if you're watching this later, thank you for watching this later. That's great too. And whenever you're watching this, however you're watching it, two things. One, do something creative. Do whatever it is that is creative for you. Because again, it should be something that makes you happy. That should be the point. Do whatever that is. It does not have to be something extravagant. Art does not have to take the form of a giant mural that takes you weeks to paint. It can be as simple as just playing music on a video game. There's like video game samplers and keyboards out there. Just noodle around on that. That's fine. That's a creative thing. You never know. You never really know what's going to grab you. And the other thing is, if there are creators that you enjoy and you like their work, and I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about other people, I'm doing fine. I say the same thing every time, but I want to stress it just in case anybody new is seeing this or whatever. I'm not talking about me. There are other people out there who are great creators that are making really wonderful work, and they're struggling because it's always tough to make money at being a creator. If these people have a way for you to support them, and it doesn't have to necessarily be money, it could be monetary, it could just be sharing their work. It can be as simple as telling them that you like their work. Maybe you told them a while ago and you haven't said it in a while. I guarantee they would appreciate hearing it. So in whatever way you can, support the creators that you enjoy, because you never know when the next day you go to look for that person and for whatever reason, they're not creating anymore. It could be just something that happens in life, or it could be that they didn't get the support and they gave up. Some people just give up, which is one of the worst things, but it does happen where people feel like, well, nobody's paying attention. What's the point of me doing this? It's terrible, but it does happen. So support people, encourage people, do what you can for other creators out there. And on that note, oh, hey, Timberdrag. Oh, really? Oh, yes, it did. It showed up. See, it worked. Fantastic. Hey, at least we got that working at the end. On that note, since it's working, I'm going to end it now before it breaks again. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. And until the next stream, take care.